Fame led to the Young Writers. I got to know the heads of music, Harry Lasky and his assistant, Richard Kaufman. Another wonderful guy and great musician. And lo and behold, I was doing Fame every week with Harry. Sometimes Harry would conduct for me, by the way, because he liked it. And so and Harry was great. He was like very swashbuckling up there, coat and tie. And so that, after Fame, that was a 2-3 year run on Fame. A new show came out. Harry retired. Richard took over. And Richard asked if I'd be interested in a Western show called The Young Writers. And it sounded great to me. He goes, yeah, we want it guitar driven and we want it all the stuff you do really well, you know. And so I think I just sort of got that job from Fame, and don't remember. I probably had to audition somehow for the director. I remember writing a few pieces of music.
What kind of a sound did it need?
That's a great question. It needed a sound that really didn't exist at that moment. What it needed was, mind you, this is before a couple of those movies that became more guitar oriented. They really wanted a guitar driven, I'll give you an example. They wanted a Mark Knopfler-esque electric guitar sound with acoustic instruments too, you know, so we'd get electric. So I used electric guitar and 2 or 3 acoustic guitars, and then a fiddle, maybe a rhythm section, a bass player, and a drummer. And so we created this sound. I created this sound.
So it's a little bit of period, but really much more modern, not an authentic 19th century sound.
No, it's, for the time, it was very modern. And it was kind of created over time. You know, that show went 3 years. So the first year I was getting my feet wet, and I was working with the same group of musicians every week, which was great. So that we became a band, sort of. And they kind of knew, just like with the old days with Hoyt, the band members kind of knew sort of what the sound was. So it got to the point where we were just, it was a good sound. And interestingly enough, there were other shows that then were subsequently starting, and I would get a call or two from another composer, for instance, that was going to work on a Western. They go, how do you know, what is the thing, and how do you do that? And I sort of explained our process. And I'm proud of that show. It's still on, actually, every day. And I get to relive it. It's on the Western Channel, and it still kind of holds up.
Did you write the theme?
I did write the theme.
And did the theme stay the same over the 3 years?
The theme stayed the same. Great story about the theme. It was the same year that Danny Elfman wrote the Simpsons theme. Mark Snow wrote the X-Files theme. And I wrote the Young Writers theme. We're all 3 in the same category. And this was really kind of a heartbreaker. Nobody won. Nobody won. They used to have those weird rules to the Academy, not anymore, where if there wasn't a clear majority, they would declare, you know, a tie. So none of us won. But anyway, that was my story. So I was fortunate to be in that company because, my God, I mean, those 2 themes are just like ridiculous.
But you did eventually win an Emmy for music on the Young Writers.
I did. It really, really was so exciting. The next year, I think, I did a very important show about the Underground Railroad during that time. And I was blessed to have a nice-sized orchestra. And I got some of my favorite singers in the whole world came in and helped me. And we recorded live. So I had maybe a 5 or 6 group vocal group, gospel group, and this beautiful orchestra, and we recorded all at the same time in the room. And it's the first time I can remember that people were in tears during that, and it was a wonderful thing because everybody sort of knew how important this was. And I think for that time it was a kind of a wonderful, bold episode.